So we haven't put the boot seal in yet, but I'll just show you how it operates. There's the key in it now. Hang on. You can see that's all looking good. These latches are now working properly. These two latches are good. That's all working when it's pushed down. I think it might need an extra couple of spacers in there. Yeah, so it's really coming on. I'll show you with the boot board in. That's how it now looks inside with the boot board in. Still quite a lot to do. Got to get this seal along this bottom piece here. So one goes along the bottom and the others go on the side of the boot itself here at the top. That's all working now. I'll take you around and show you the other bits that we've accomplished and done. It's coming on. Okay, so you can see there's the heater, and this is the original heater, but which has been completely refurbished and tested, which we've done ourselves. This is the steering. The power steering system over here. You can see it's called Easy Steer. It's from a company in Holland, and this has a rheostat system so that you can have no input or you know, certain amount, so you can have it on high for park when you're parked up or you're reversing, and you can have as little or as much input as you want. So that once you're on the autobahn and you're going along, you can turn it off completely and have the normal feel that you would in the car when it's original non-power assisted. So as you can see, it's coming in. The wipers are now starting to go in and a few other bits and pieces, but we've got to connect up all the heating system to this, the pipework, so we can fill the radiator back up, and Evans coolant is going in this, the same as I've got in my E-Type and the same that's in the Mini Cooper. I've had it in my E-Type for what, I don't know, 6, 7 or plus years, and it's perfect. It's never needed topping up, and it's still in as good condition as it was when I put it in. It's expensive, but it's definitely the way to go. At the moment we've only got the one fuel line in, and then the line, we've put the line in through here. It's not fixed yet, as you can see obviously. And then bent it through there. We're going to put a connection, so I have to use this light. We'll put a connection in here, and then it goes up to the fuel bowl, and obviously we'll wire all this up. What we have done though is cut these, I don't know if you can probably see them there. We've cut these O-rings, or sorry, grommets, and put them inside so they're not against the metal, which look quite nice. You can see there's one there, and I've got to get another couple to go into the other ones. And then what we'll do is put some kind of strap at the back once this is all connected up, because obviously it's going to push it over because the nut has to go in between here. So we need basically a high pressure connection there with a olive in it to join it together. It would be near impossible to get it through there in one piece. But there's the second pump in. But what we have to do now is one of these will come out. One of these will come out of the pump. That was the only difference on the S-Specs. On the SE cars, which is what this is numbered, it would have had just one pump. But on the S specification, it had two. Now, whether that was because of the third carburetor or didn't, you know, chances are they were in line. They must be in line with each other. So if one broke down, the other one would still pump. I don't know what the reason was behind it. It might have been because of having 3 carburetors, I don't know. Somebody knows exactly why that was done, but that wouldn't make sense to me. But then what we need to do is put one of these into here and then bridge it across. So that's another job that's done. Okay, up inside the wheel arch you can see here that, hang on, there you go. You can see that the grommets are in for the wiring and the lights, and obviously we haven't got any of the side pieces in yet, so there's still quite a lot to do there. Okay, I'm going to take you around. So what else can I show you? So I have to use this light. It's quite dark under here. I'm trying to think what else we've put on that you can see. I don't think we've put the oh yeah, okay, and the sender, again, you can just see that the sender's in the fuel tank there, and it's wired up. That was the job. That's a new aluminium tank that's in it. So yeah, we're getting there. A lot of these jobs are extremely fiddly, and obviously you've got to be very, very careful. You can see there's a bit of overspray there, but we can take that off with thinners and get it back to the original black paint. Again, all the P-clips have to go into this brake line, which we've got to do. And yeah, and we'll go on from there. And again, on the other side, you can see grommets going through. The wire's hanging out a little bit there, but that doesn't matter because we've got to lift that back in once we put it in for the last time. So yeah, and this side will be where the vacuum tank goes, and you can see the servos at the top there. And then this vacuum tank here goes in. We made a system up so that we can put a vacuum tank which sits on the side there, and that box is completely boxed in with screws, and you can keep a gallon of oil and water and rags and a few tools in there at the same time. In the original car it would have had a 6-volt battery this side and a 6-volt on the other side, but because we're using a 12-volt battery system, and it's negative earth, not positive earth as it was. You might also get to see up there where that beautiful exhaust manifold is, which is from Classic Fabs in Scotland. There's a thing that looks like a dynamo, but it is in fact actually an alternator, but in a dynamo body. It's called a dynator. It's to give it the same appearance as a dynamo would, and obviously a dynamo is not as efficient as an alternator, but it's alternator internals. And again, you can see on the front there's the high flow electric fan, because the single blade these had on them were as much use as a one-legged man at an ass kicking contest. So, and that works off that can be changed for temperature levels. You can have it, you know, for higher, but it has to be adjusted with a screwdriver. So there we are. And as I say, we'll get all this over spray. It's just dust. We'll get all this over spray and everything cleaned up when we've got everything in place. So there we are. And one of the door handles is on. Unfortunately, some of the stuff is still lying down in Hungary, the guy that organised the painting, and he just won't pick up the phone. So I'm going to have to drive there and get hold of him. I'll camp outside his house until he fucking turns up. It's a bit annoying because he's had his money, and it's that usual situation. You know, I've had the money off you, and I don't give a fuck anymore. But he's still got the parts from the doors, which he took off, and he just won't pick the fucking phone up because he can see my number. God, I am seriously pissed off with him. And once I've picked my stuff up, I shall let him know exactly how I feel about it. But there you go. It's one of those things. Anyway, but it's coming on.